Hello everybody. Today we are going over the Cisco Intro to Networking Packet Tracer Lab 2.3.8. It is about navigating the iOS using a terminal client for console connectivity, and we will be in physical mode for this lab. Our objectives are to access a Cisco switch through the serial console port, to display and configure basic device settings, and to access a Cisco router using a mini USB console cable. There are a lot of different types of Cisco routers and switches and a lot of different types of networks. As you can see in the background scenario here, our job today is to just learn how to make that initial connection using the console port. So let's get going. In part one of this lab, we are to access a Cisco switch through the serial console port. So we're going to connect a PC to a Cisco switch using a rollover console cable. This connection will allow you to access the command line interface and display settings and configure the switch. So here in step one, we're going to install and investigate a 2960 switch. There are several switches, routers, and other devices on the shelf. Click and drag the 2960 to the rack. So let's go over here to the shelf and find the 2960 switch. It's right here. We're going to left click it and move it over to our rack and just let go of the left mouse button, and there it is. It's on the shelf and we have 20% already. In Packet Tracer, most devices that you drag to the rack or table are automatically connected to power. Some devices require that you turn on the power. The switch does not. The switch is automatically powered on, so we don't need to worry about it. Part B, right-click the 2960 switch and select Inspect Front. We can use this zoom button to zoom in and see everything more clearly. You can see that there are 24 ports back here, and there are 2 additional ports for connecting the switch to other switches or routers. And what you see popping up there is whenever I hover over these ports, it gives me more details about all of those ports. So don't let that bother you. All right, it says now to click X to close the Inspect Front. And we're on part D. Right-click the 29.6 and inspect the rear. 2960, sorry. Inspect rear. Use the zoom to get a better view, and we can see the back of this switch now. And you can see back here there's a console port. That's used so that we can connect to a PC with a rollover cable. Let's click X to get out of that. And now we're on step 2, install and investigate the PC. So now we're going to take the PC, you can see right here it says PC, we're going to drag that over to the table and drop it there. So I left clicked and held it until I got to the table and let it go. Let's right click the PC and inspect the front. We want to turn this on. So here is the red power button. I'm going to click it and you'll see that a light turns on there. It looks a little yellow to me, but they're saying it's a green light on the front of the PC. At the bottom of the PC, notice that there is a fast Ethernet interface. Next to it is an RS-232 port for connecting a rollover cable. Below these are 2 USB ports that can be used for console access. So what they're talking about here are the ports right here and then USB ports beneath them down here. Let's move on to step 3. Connect the switch and PC using a rollover console cable. Well, I'm going to X out of this view for now, and it wants me to, on the pegboard, grab a blue rollover console cable. So right here are the console cables. They're light blue. And we're going to left click on it. And now you can see that my mouse has changed so that it appears to be the end of a cable. On the PC, I want to click the RS-232 port. You know what? I'm going to come down to the PC and right click it again and inspect front. And I'm going to zoom in and move down so you can see this RS-232 port is right here. So I've got my cable, and I'm going to use my left mouse button to click on it. It turns green, and that tells me that it is connected. All right, now let's go over to, I'm going to move up and go over to the 2960 switch. I'm going to right click it, inspect the rear, and I want to plug in the other end of this cable to the console port, which is right here. If you hover over it, it'll show what it is. Once you can see those words and you know which port it is, left click, and now this cable is connected, and they're showing us a connected cable here. We're at 60% now, and we're done with step 3. Step 4, configure the packet tracer terminal program to establish a console session with the switch. So we want to click the PC. I left click the PC, and then we want to choose the desktop tab and then the terminal here. These default parameters are fine the way they are, so I'm going to click OK. And then I'm into the terminal, so you can see here that there's a bit of chatter and information here in the terminal. But at the end it says press return to get started. So I've left clicked here in the screen so that my cursor is at the end of that, and I'm going to click enter to get started. And now we can see that I've got this switch and a greater than sign, and my cursor is waiting there. So here we are in user exec mode when we start. So moving on to part 2, it says display and configure the basic device settings. Well, as you can see, that just disappeared. I'm going to left click on this computer again, and that screen is still there. It was just in the background. If you don't like when that happens, you can click on this box here to keep it up on the top so that it doesn't disappear from you. While you are in the user exec mode, use the show version command to display the iOS version for the switch. And here's what they want us to type, just like that. So click over here and type show version and hit enter. And the question is what version is being used, and you can see it up here. All of this information, it is version 12.2.25FX. Now we are asked to configure the clock in step 2. There are a lot of instructions here, but let's go back to this screen here. Notice how it says more. If you hit the space bar, then it's going to finish showing everything that's available there. So we've got more information. So now we want to get into a different mode. We want to get into privileged exec mode from user exec mode. So here they want us to type enable, just like it shows right there. And hit enter, and notice how the prompt changed from a greater than sign to a hashtag. Now we're going to configure the clock setting. These instructions are a little bit confusing in my opinion. I want you to notice that they're taking us one little step at a time. And they're showing us that if you don't know how to use the clock set function, just type a space and a question mark every time you need to know what else you need to type, and it'll give you the information. So our first thing to type is clock set space question mark, and it tells me what it wants next. It wants the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. So they want us to set it to 15:28:00. So 15:28:00, but put a space and a question mark because that's not it. They still want us to learn more about how to enter the clock and the date. So the next thing it wants from us is the day of the month and the month of the year. So after here, I'm going to type in, they want it to be November 11th, so 11, and then the letters NOV for November. But that's not the end. So put a space and a question mark. And the last thing that it wants is the year. They want us to set it to 2020, and that's it. So hit enter. And now we have the clock set. It hasn't given us a message that there was a problem, so it looks like it worked. But let's make sure by typing show clock and hitting enter. And there it is. There's our time and our date. It's now at 12 seconds because it's been 12 seconds since we set the time. All right, let's move on to part 3. Access a Cisco router using a mini USB console cable. So in step 1, now I'm going to come over here and X out of this window because we are done with that part of the lab. Locate the 4321 router on the shelf, click it, and bring it over to the rack. So 4321, here's my router. I'm going to drag it over to the rack, right-click it, and inspect the front. Right-click, inspect front, and I'm going to zoom in to get a better view. Notice that there is a power switch right here. It looks like a real power switch. We need to turn on the router. There's a little tiny green light to indicate that it's turned on. And without doing that, we would not be able to accomplish the rest of this lab. Notice the ports that are available. Here are some console ports and other ports over here. So let's X out of that front view. Step 2, install and investigate the laptop. So grab the laptop, bring that over to the table, right-click it, and inspect the front. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'll have to move over to see it. But there is our laptop. We've got a couple of ports and a couple of USB ports. And then it says, oh, we need to turn this on. Never forget to turn on your devices or the lab won't work properly. All right, then click X to get out of that view. I have to move over a little bit to get over there and move myself back. All right, step 3, connect the router and laptop using a mini USB cable. On the pegboard, click a mini USB. So here is the USB. I'm going to click on it and move over to the laptop. I'm going to right-click the laptop, inspect the front so I can see better. And I want this to go over to a USB. So I found a USB. There are 2 of them. I'm going to left-click on it to plug it in and wait to make sure you're turning it green. The first time I did, it wasn't quite in the right spot and it didn't turn green. Okay, now we go over to the router and we're going to right-click on it and inspect front, and going to make that larger so I can see it. And we want to take this USB console cable and plug it in here to the router. And now we're at 100%, but there are a few more things to do. So let's look down here and see what they want us to do. Click laptop, desktop, terminal. So click on the laptop, left click, then desktop, then terminal. The terminal default settings are okay, so let's click OK and we'll watch and see what happens here in the screen. I'm going to move down. And it asks me this question, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? And the answer is typically no for what we are doing. So I'm typing an N and hitting enter. It says return to get started. And now you can see that I have the prompt for router. So go ahead and answer the reflection questions, but we're at 100% and we have completed this lab. Good job. See you next time.